He thought it was just garden junk until an expert says this. But before we start, smash the like button and make sure to subscribe if you haven't, and hit that notification bell so that you won't miss any new stories. Owen Palmer wasn't the kind of guy who believed in hidden treasure. He believed in hard work, rusted tools, and the satisfaction of a cleared-out garden bed. His backyard project had started with nothing more than a patch of overgrown weeds and a shovel. The plan was to dig in new irrigation lines. That was it. The first few feet of dirt were nothing special roots. Rocks, old bottles, and glass shards. Owen found a half-buried garden gnome missing an arm. He laughed, wiped the sweat from his brow, and kept going. About a foot down, his shovel hit something hard. Not stone, not metal either. It gave a little like dense wood or packed clay. He knelt and brushed the dirt away with his hands. The top of it was flat, rectangular, covered in grime. At first, he assumed it was an old brick, maybe part of a foundation or a buried toolbox. He grabbed a hand fork and loosened the soil around it. Slowly, the object came loose, clinking faintly. Holding it up in the light, Owen could see it was a long, solid bar bronze or copper-colored, heavier than it looked. No markings at first glance, just rust and dirt. But as he rubbed the surface clean with his shirt, faint letters began to show. It wasn't junk, it was stamped. His heart skipped. The imprint was partially worn, but still readable. USA, Denver 1921, 999.9. Owen blinked. He turned it over in his hands, suddenly unsure of what he was holding. The weight felt right. The patina looked old. Could this actually be a gold bar? His first instinct was disbelief. Probably a replica, he thought. Still, it was strange enough to warrant a second opinion. He took a few pictures and posted them in a metal detecting forum online. Within an hour, his inbox blew up. Messages poured in. Some joked, others were serious. One user, claiming to be a retired geologist, sent him a private message, "You need to get that tested, immediately." The next day, Owen drove 2 towns over to a local collectibles shop. He met with Dale, a certified metals appraiser known for his honesty. Owen placed the bar on the counter, casually. "Found this in the garden," he said, trying not to sound overly excited. Dale picked it up and immediately raised an eyebrow. He examined it with a loupe, then scratched the edge gently, placing a flake into a spectrometer. The machine whirred for a moment before the screen flashed. Dale let out a breath. "Owen," he said slowly, "this isn't a replica. It's real. 99.9% pure gold. You're holding a historic U.S. Mint assay bar." Owen just stared at him. "Wait, seriously?" Dale nodded. "From Denver, 1921. These bars weren't meant for circulation. They were typically moved between banks or sent as bullion reserve. No one should just find one in a garden." Owen laughed nervously. "So, what's it worth?" Dale hesitated. "In gold weight alone? Over 70 grand? Historically, maybe double." The room spun a little. Owen leaned against the counter, overwhelmed. "How the hell did it end up in my backyard?" he asked aloud. Dale shrugged. "That's the bigger question." Over the next few days, Owen started digging more this time for clues, not just dirt. He researched property records, interviewed neighbors, even called the local historical society. Turns out, his land once belonged to a man named Walter Cribbs, who passed away in 1978. Cribbs was a recluse, rarely seen, and rumored to have worked as a trained security officer in the 1930s. Old newspaper clippings mentioned a transport theft in the 40s involving gold from a federal route. Nothing was ever recovered. Owen didn't want to jump to conclusions, but it was hard not to wonder. He dug further, literally and figuratively. In a corner of the yard, he unearthed a rusted padlock, then fragments of a weathered wooden box. One piece had handwriting DC, WC, etched into the inside lid. Dale confirmed the initials matched the bar's shipment manifest. Now, it wasn't just about money. It was a mystery. Owen became obsessed. Every spare hour was spent digging, reading, chasing shadows of a story buried deeper than gold. He found an old army tag beneath a rosebush, possibly Cribbs from the war. The garden, it seemed, had been hiding history all along. Word spread. Local reporters came by. Some tried to call it a hoax, but Dale vouched for the assay bar's authenticity. The Historical Society offered to help document the findings. One archivist said, This could rewrite what we know about the 1,940's bullion transit routes. Owen smiled. I just wanted tomatoes. Now I'm part of a legend. Despite the media attention, Owen never lost his down-to-earth attitude. He kept the bar safe, declined early offers from collectors, and insisted on learning more before making any decisions. This isn't just mine, he said once. It belongs to the story, to the people who lived it. His backyard had become a portal to the past. Eventually, a university historian joined the investigation. After reviewing declassified transport records, she theorized that the bar was likely diverted during a federal gold shipment reroute and hidden by someone with insider access, possibly cribs. No charges were ever filed back then. The case went cold. Now, thanks to Owen, it had heat again. 6 months later, the bar was displayed at a special exhibit titled Buried Riches – Forgotten Histories of American Gold. Owen stood quietly as visitors admired the piece. He didn't brag or pose. He just watched, humbled. "I thought it was junk," he said softly to one of the curators. She smiled. That's how most great discoveries start. Back home, Owen replanted his garden, this time with fewer shovels and more care. He laid a stone marker near the spot where he found the bar. Not flashy, just a simple plaque. History lives here, found in soil, remembered in time. The plants grew back greener than ever, but the real treasure had already been uncovered. And to this day, whenever Owen digs 7 just to plant onions, she can't help but wonder, what else lies just beneath our feet, waiting to be seen if we're willing to look?